that feeling that all of Ummah is with Palestine. So, terima kasih. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Bilal, and I'm from Palestine, as you know. I'm a head of media in the Palestinian Cultural Organization, Malaysia. It was launched in 2011, and it aims at spreading awareness about Palestinian cause and trying to get support towards Palestine. Actually, dear brothers and sisters, today we are going to talk about Palestine, about our responsibilities toward Palestine. But first of all, we have some facts that we need to stress before going to that kind and that level of responsibilities, because we need to know why should we have that feelings and that support towards Palestine. So we will go through the journey of freedom to the land of sacrifices, to the land that have a blessing from Allah. So hopefully you will enjoy this journey. So first of all, let me introduce and let me give you an idea. Where is Palestine? And what is Palestine actually? So for the first slide, as we can see here, Palestine is a part of Bilad al-Sham. Bilad al-Sham includes 4 countries. The first one, we have Syria. May Allah help our people over there. We have Lebanon, we have Jordan, and Palestine as well. As you know for sure that Palestine is in the western part of Asia. So guys, we are sharing Asia as well. You know that. So we are in the same continent. So Palestine is there, and as you can see in the map, that Palestine in the middle between Asia and Africa. So we have Egypt in the north, in the south of Palestine, and we have other countries in Asia like Lebanon, like Syria, and other countries. As you can see here in the map, we have Egypt, as I told you, that it's in the south. We have Jordan here in the east, Syria over there, and Lebanon. And here is Palestine. If we move to the next slide, we can see that Palestine enjoys a very beautiful climate over there. And you can see that in the east of Palestine, we have the Mediterranean Sea, and which is conducive to stability and productivity. And by the way, you are all invited to Palestine to enjoy this climate, and visa will be for free, inshallah, once we liberate Palestine. If we are going to the Palestine as parts, if we are talking about geography, we have 3 parts here. We have the coastal plain, we have the central mountain range, and the Jordan Rift Valley. This is just about geography. But if we are talking about geopolitics, it differs from that. We have Gaza Strip now, we have West Bank, and we have Jerusalem, which is called Al-Quds, Al-Bayt al-Muqaddas, and the cities and the territories were occupied in 1948. So here are the geopolitical side. If we move to the next slide, please. You can see that Palestine has a privileged position in our hearts as Muslims. So you are here today because of that. We are Muslims, and Palestine is a verse of our Quran. Our Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam always talked about Palestine. So it's something as a part of our religion. You can see Palestine in Quran, for example, as Allah said that, as Sayyidina Musa said in Quran, "O my people, enter the Holy Land which Allah assigned unto you." In Arabic we say that ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي باركنا فيها. So, and also if we are talking about Hadith Sharif, as the Prophet ﷺ said that don't undertake journey except but to 3 mosques. لا تشد الرحال إلا إلى 3 مساجد. So we have here Al-Masjid Al-Haram, Mecca, والمسجد الأقصى, and ومسجد هذا, as the Prophet ﷺ said, which is the Al-Masjid Al-Nabawi. And as we go after that, we can see also Palestine. It's there once the Rasulullah ﷺ took a journey from the Mecca to Al-Akhras, in the journey which is called Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. You know that some scholars said that Allah could do everything, even to take Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam directly from just Mecca to the heaven, but it wasn't. It was from Mecca to Al-Aqsa. So here we can see how important, how is holy our Al-Aqsa mosque. So it was the journey from the holy mosque and then the Mi'raj from Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa to the heaven. And you, after that, as Muslims, it was something like in our Quran, in our Hadith, but it was implemented, it was proven by our Muslims who were before us. As you can see here, brothers and sisters, that Salahuddin, anyone who knows where he's from? Anyone? Okay? Any answer? Okay. First of all, he wasn't Arab. He wasn't from any of Arab countries. Okay? It becomes easy for you. Okay, any answer? There will be a gift. Okay? Alright. Actually, Salahuddin, brothers and sisters, he were Kurdish. He wasn't Arab. But he did what? He liberated Palestine. He liberated Al-Aqsa Mosque. He came, he traveled all of this distance to come to Palestine and to liberate Palestine. So you know, you can see that our brothers and sisters, that Palestine is ours as Muslims. Salahuddin did, and who is going to follow Salahuddin? Anyone, just raise your hand, or at least one of your child. He will do it, inshallah. Are you agree with me? Yes. I don't hear that. Yes. Are you agree with me? Yes. Okay, Bagus. Okay, so Salahuddin, he did it, and he liberated Al-Aqsa from Salibiyin. They called the Crusaders. After what? After 90 years, Palestine was occupied in just 60 years ago. So it's still that we can do it, and we will do it inshallah one day. Okay, so after that, we can see that after Salahuddin, a lot of things happened. Unfortunately, that the Ottoman Empire, Al-Khilafah Al-Uthmaniyya, it started very strong, but after that, it became somehow weak. Because of what? Because of the power from the West. They tried to make it weak, and they somehow did do it. Because of what? It's not about they're strong, it's about us. We didn't be ready for that. We were weak, and they were strong. So they were strong a little bit, but the problem is ours, actually. If we have just a little bit of means, a little bit of just some of the means that we can use to struggle, we can do it. We are, as Muslims, always are doing very well. But once the dunya, and once we become away from our Quran, from our Sunnah, we became somehow weak. So it's our responsibility today to go back to our Quran, to our religion, to be strong and to have at the same time to be strong in our studying. We are in the Faculty of Science, you are doctors, and we have in Gumba, as I'm studying there, we have students in engineering and other faculties. So here is our responsibility to focus on our study and to be strong in our ibadah. That's from that we can start our journey to the liberation of Palestine. So here you can see that the Ottoman Empire was somehow weak, and after that the Britain, they occupied Palestine. Another thing that we share, Palestine and Malaysia. Britain occupied Malaysia and Britain occupied Palestine. Palestine was liberated from Britain and Malaysia as well. So, but unfortunately after the British occupation, the Zionists were there. So now in 1948, if we go to the next slide, and the next one please. As you can see that the establishment of the World Zionist Organization, they had a conference in 1997. 1897 they had a conference and they had a dream, guys. After that, what happened? After that conference, they had a dream. They set it there. We wanna get Palestine. Since that time, they started. And you know when they got their dream real? It's just in less than 50 years. They worked hard. They planned to do that and they could make it. So just in less than 50 years, they made it. And we can. And we started already our struggle. And we can do it, guys. So just see, our enemy, with no faith, they could make it in less than 50 years. So just let's start and we will do it, inshallah. So after that, as we can see in our next slide, the Zionism had been declared. There is their state, the state of Israel as they call it. But it's inshallah gonna be disappeared soon, inshallah. So the result was the loss of Palestine in the war of 1948. Actually, Palestinians didn't just withdraw and leave their country. Actually, they were trying to struggle, and they did. But the issue there that a lot of weapons, the machine power from the West, it was there. They helped them. It's not about Jewish, it's not about these people from these gangs. It's not about them, it's about the help from others. So if we want to get Palestine back, it's our responsibility as Muslims. They help Jewish and they help that kind of people, and we are as Muslims are going to do the same for our brothers in Palestine, inshallah. After that, if we go through the history, we have the Arab-Israeli War of 1967, which took over in 6 days. Just imagine 6 days. Sinai Peninsula and Julan, and we have also Gaza Strip and West Bank. It was occupied in 1967. But you know, guys, that in that time, the armies, Arabic armies, who should fight and and try to protect Palestine, those people, what they did just the night before the war, you know what? They just were drunk. They were just listening to the songs. Just the day after, before that war, what happened? they lost the war. But imagine, in the last war in Gaza, people who are memorizing the Quran, Israel in 52 days did nothing. Because why? Because we have people who have faith. So it's about the people who have that will, who have that iman in their hearts, and they will do it inshallah, as our people in Palestine are doing now. So after that war, we can see that, please the next slide. Day after day, year after year, what happened? Israel was doing aggressive actions against Palestine. Palestinians couldn't just stay away. They were preparing themselves to the moment that they could fight back. They did it. In 1987, there was a uprising in Palestine. It was called the Revolution of Mosques. Because why? The people who were there, who were in the streets, protested the aggressive actions from Israeli army. They got out from the mosques. They prepared themselves there and fight in the streets after they were ready in mosques. So after this intifada, unfortunately, there was a process of, they call it peace. But that peace did nothing for us. You know what? There was something which is called Oslo Accords. As Palestinians, we have, you know that in each and every country, people are not same, right? We have different kind of people. So in Palestine, group of people believe that just this kind of a process, peace, it will work. You know what? It didn't. Actually, nothing happened after this kind of agreements. And even the situation became very, very bad after that. So what happened? All of Palestinians refused that. They didn't accept that. But that people who did this kind of agreement, they had power. So what they did, they took some of our Palestinian people to the jail, as they don't agree with them about this kind of process. However, after this agreement, it was in 1993, there were a lot of settlements in West Bank, for example. You know what the settlements mean? We will go through it later, inshallah. Keep it in mind. So after that, they refuse it, and as you can see, we got nothing. And in 2008 or in 2000, you know that there is someone, he's called Ariel Sharon. You know him? He was a prime minister of Israel. But you know how he died? He was in hospital for 2 years. No one knows if he is alive or not. You are doctors, you know that situation. So no one knows. He just nothing. He was just in the hospital and no one cares about him. He was gone, as his country will go inshallah soon. So this Ariel Sharon, he invaded Al-Aqsa Mosque in 2000, and you know that we couldn't just rely on that, accept that. It's not. So all of the Palestinians were in the streets, sacrificing their mosque, Al-Aqsa Mosque. A lot of martyrs were there in West Bank, in Gaza Strip. All of us, it's our mosque, it's our holy mosque. He can't just get in the mosque and we just keep quiet. No, it's not. So all of people were in the street. A lot of people were struggling. They were fighting back. They had a lot of, if we are talking about children, they were throwing what? Stones. Just stones. They had nothing at that time. So what they did, they just tried their best to show that they are with Al-Aqsa. So you can see that. But after that, these children, they had rockets, as we can see in the last war in, for example, Gaza, and they had bombs in West Bank. So they improved, developed their abilities because they have something which is called a goal. We are dreaming about getting our land back, and we will, inshallah, with your cooperation. Am I right? Yes. Okay. So after that, if we go to the next slide, you know that in 2005, you know that in 1993, there was a process and there was peace agreement. We got nothing, okay? But once we started our intifada, uprising, in 2000, it started, and you know what? In 2005, you can see that Israeli forces, which is called Israel, we don't, لن نعترف بإسرائيل, you know that? لن نعترف بإسرائيل. Who said that? لن نعترف بإسرائيل. Okay? Oh, mashallah. Let's say together, لن نعترف بإسرائيل. Okay? Have you heard that? لن نعترف بإسرائيل. Okay, good. So in 2005, Israel removed each and every soldier from Gaza after our resistance efforts. And before that, Allah helped us to do that. So what happened? That every Israeli soldier and Jewish settler just left Gaza, and they will not come back again, inshallah. They left Gaza, and we got Gaza back. I still remember that day, I was just in elementary school, and no one could believe that it's gonna be happen. It's something that out of your understanding. But for me, it's something that, okay, I believe that. So what I did, all of my family members were sleeping. It was at night, it's about like midnight. And what I did, I get my bicycle and went to the area just beside this settlement. It was a very amazing moment. You know what? And even there was a sea just in that area. And once I reached that area, you can't believe that it's our land back. And what I did, I just took off my clothes and went to the sea to swim at the midnight. You can see that feeling. It's just amazing. And all of us will feel that once we liberate Al-Aqsa, inshallah. We'll be all together, and we will pray there, inshallah. So, Israel left Gaza, and after that, in 2006, Hamas took power by winning the election in the Palestinian parliamentary election. Israel responded, and there was economic sanctions, and there was a blockade in Gaza and West Bank. After that, you can see that in 2010, there was a war in Gaza. The war, we call it Harb al-Furqan. Okay? It was called from the Israeli soldiers and forces, the Operation Cast. But what they did, there were a lot of bombs around. I still remember that day. I was there, and you can see that hundreds of bombs around you. For me, I turned on the radio. I want to just know that what's happening around. I heard that DG said that there are a lot of raids in Gaza City. I said he might be mistaken because it was just in my city, which is called Khan Yunis. So I said, okay, it's just a mistake he did. So he will correct it just now. So what he said after that, he said that all of the area of Gaza Strip, all of the cities were under attack. More than 100 attacked at 1 second. What they were trying to do is just to remove Hamas and Islamic movements from power. You know that hundreds of warplanes were there. But what happened after that? They didn't do it. We could make it. We could survive. And the victory was there. They couldn't just, if they wanna just get Gaza Strip or Palestine, all of our land back, they can do it just in one thing. They have to kill all Palestinians. Or even, they will not do it if, after that. Because you know what? We have all of our Muslim Ummah. So they have to kill all of our Muslim Ummah. And they will not. I promise you that inshallah, our victory will be soon. As we have our Ummah, and as we could get it in Gaza. Just, we are talking about the 365 kilometers. We are talking about in just very, very small area. And people in a blockade always. But they didn't. They could survive after 3 wars. So, guys, be ready. Our Palestine is waiting for us. After that, we can see there was operation which is called the Protective Edge. It was launched on 8th of July, 2014. It was just last year. I was here in Malaysia. It was very aggressive. A lot of raids were there. And I want to tell you something. Just my neighbors, friends of mine, just beside my house. 2 houses. I'm talking about me as one person from Gaza. You know what happened? Just beside my house, there were 2 homes were under attack. They were totally removed. You know what? Around 20 people, 20 friends of mine were killed. I know one of my friends, his wife, his little girl, daughter, and his mother were killed. Another one, just in the house beside that house, he and his wife and his father were killed. I'm talking about 20 people, just neighbors of me. Just imagine 2,500 were killed in that war. But what? After 52 days, Israel got nothing. Israel was failed, as always. And you know that, as I told you, in 1967, in 6 days, they got part of Egypt, part of Syria, and half of Palestine. So, even we are doing sacrifices. We have been killed for like more than 6 years. Before that, we were losing our land. But what's the difference now? We have our land. They cannot get our land, and they will not, inshallah. After that, we are going, brothers and sisters, Sadura, is it correct? Saudara, okay. We are going to some statistics, okay. And we can see here that the electricity rate for persons aged from 15 years and above, you can see what? It's just 3.7%, okay? It's just 3.7%. So we are going to proceed very quick, and as we have an alert now. So we have number of mosques, number of theaters, number of museums. You can see that. Population of Palestine, we have 4 million inside Palestine, but we have 6.5 outside of Palestine, as Palestinians, refugees all over the world. After that, we have all of these statistics. Here, one of my friends, he was killed in the Harb al-Furqan. And I want to just tell you about this story, please. This guy, you know this guy, right? Yeah. All of you are familiar with him. But that one, I'm not sure about that. That one, he is my uncle. You know what? He was in Israeli jail for what? For 18 years. Since 1993. He was in jail. You know how he got back and how we could get him back? You know what? How? Is it from peace process and agreements? No. You know what happened? In 2006, there was an operation from Al-akhras. They got one Israeli soldier. His name is Gilad Shalit. In 2011, there was a swap deal, an exchange from our prisoners and their prisoner. And we got my uncle back after 19 years. Here we have the city of Al-Quds, and you are familiar with, and we may have another chance to talk in details about that. Settlements in West Bank, we have more than 500,000 of people, of Israeli Jewish, in settlements in West Bank. After that, we are going, we have Palestinian prisoners, 5,000. Inshallah, they will be freed, inshallah, soon as my uncle, soon, inshallah, as we heard that some of Israeli soldiers were arrested in the last war in Gaza. So we wish that we got them back, inshallah, again. After that, brothers and sisters, what we should do for Palestine. This is the important part that we should do. So I'm gonna here just stress some points that will help us. And I'm very sure that all of you are creative, that you can do your best, your own ideas, and implement it. But just I'm gonna help you. Do you allow me to do that? Okay, thank you. So we are going to talk about some actions for academic responsibilities that we need to write books, for example, publishing articles, and if we are talking about you as scientists, we may talk about something related to your specialization. You may contact with some hospitals in Gaza Strip, doing some studies in this regard. So also we are talking about NGOs' responsibility. So what we can do, if we are talking about NGOs, that this is for Dr. T and brothers from WAMI, and all of you for sure, that we have to conduct awareness programs, and we are conducting a campaign you will see soon, inshallah, about Palestinian prisoners with Dr. T in Aqsa Sharif. And we have to carry out and sponsoring programs in the holy city in Al-Quds and in Palestine as well, mobilizing the public support. We need to talk to others, brothers and sisters. It's our responsibility as educated people. You have a lot of friends in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram here, so you can stress this issue of Palestine. Also, if we are talking about media responsibility, some of you are familiar with media and they have some activities there, so we can expose the crimes assaulted by Israel. We have to correct some misconceptions about Palestine. It's about media and it's about us, as all are becoming media people through, for example, Facebook. So all of us have their clearance and their press release every time. We are doing this, we are not doing that. So through Facebook, for example, you can do such thing, creating supportive public opinion via documentaries, films, reports, and other things. Actually, here is a very important part of our presentation. We are talking about individuals, all of us, every and each one of us. You can see we need first of all that we need to supplicate to Allah. We need to pray to Allah to help our people over there. Qiyamul Layl, Salatul Fajr, all of these things. Just to pray to Allah to help our people over there. One more thing, that we may follow up the news and the developments in occupied Palestine. I had a presentation before and someone said that what are the media that you are recommending to us to follow? If I may ask you that, for example, in BICOM, Palestinian Cultural Organization Malaysia, we have a website, we have a Facebook account, so you may follow the news from there. So I expect like 100 likes this night will be there for our Facebook account. Okay? BICOM is there, and after that we need to allocate a part of our income to sponsor a project in Palestine. A lot of organizations like Aqsa Sharif here in Malaysia are helping us in that regard. So just allocate some of your income every month. Please, and I'm not asking about too much amount. I do understand everyone has his own life, but it's our responsibility to people who are sacrificing what? Their life. So there is something that we should do towards our people over there. And also, we need, like, we can remind ourselves about Palestine in our rooms, in our faculties, for example, in our campus, in our house, that hanging just a photo of Al-akhras, of Palestine map, of one of the Palestinian leaders who were martyrs, like Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, Dr. Abdul Aziz al-Rantisi. If we hang just these photos in our rooms, for example, it will remind us always that it is something that we should do for Palestine. We need also to boycott Israeli or Israeli sponsoring companies and the products. And I think Malaysia is doing well in this regard. And we are doing this now. So I will just pass it, the first one. So I will go to the second one, joining Solidarity Organization for Palestine cause. And one more thing, that speaking up for the issue at your Facebook, your blog, at your Twitter, or another social networks. Thank you all. Terima kasih. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. See you in Al-Aqsa Mosque, inshallah.
The first question is, can you tell us about current situation in Palestine, specifically the progress of reconstruction? And the second question is, can you share the experience of Palestinian prisoners in Israel?
Okay, thank you. I thought everything was clear. But anyways, just do it, it's okay, just kidding. Actually, for the current status in Palestine, unfortunately in Gaza, we are facing a lot of obstacles over there. Because of what? Actually, it's not unfortunately about Israel, or it's called Israel. Israel is there, but there is something else. Actually, Egypt, unfortunately, the regime in Egypt is closing the borders between Gaza and the whole world. We have nothing, we have no gate except Rafah crossing. So they are closing the border over there. And even for me, I can't go back to my country after I've completed my master in UIA. And I was trying to go back and come back to continue my study, but I couldn't go back. It's as simple as that. So we couldn't get materials. It's here that Egypt is closing the border. That's one thing. Another thing that a lot of people were promising that they will send support and they will sponsor reconstruction programs. But unfortunately, they didn't. So a lot of houses are just still destroying. There people who, some of them are still in the street, still in some of the schools. They don't have their homes. Hopefully that next days, in the coming days, that we can, all of the people out of Palestine, they can help in this regard. I hear that there are a lot of campaigns to stress this issue again, to reconstruct Gaza. For example, Qatar ambassador was in Gaza just 2 days ago, and he started a project to build 1,000 homes over there. So hopefully it will be better, inshallah. For West Bank, the settlement is still there. Israel is still building a new houses in West Bank, and in Al-Aqsa or in Jerusalem, Judaization is still, Israeli settlers are still trying to Judaize. You know Judaization. Tahweed in Arabic we call it. They are trying to make Jerusalem to look like a Jewish city. That's what does Judaization mean. They are trying, but our people in Al-Aqsa, if you follow the news, they are protecting and they are safeguarding Al-Aqsa. A lot of clash are happening because there are people still there. They are protecting our holy mosque. Nowadays, just after 3 days, there will be an Israeli election. And some sources said that because of the last war in Gaza and the failure, they didn't do their goals and they didn't achieve their goals in Gaza Strip last war. After that, this Israeli government is gonna fail. And it failed. It's failing now because the election is early. It's not the time of election, Israeli election. They made it early, and it's about to be in the 17th of this month. This is in general about the situation in Palestine. For the prisoners in Israeli jails, nowadays we have about like 6,000 people over there, Israeli prisoners. The situation is not easy, you know. It's jail, and you cannot get contact with your beloved husband, wives, children. So because we have women and we have men inside jails, so the situation is not easy. But we have our Palestinian resistance people, resistance movements. They are trying their best to liberate, to free these people. So because of that, more than one Israeli soldier were arrested in the last war. So hopefully, inshallah, we will see these people free, inshallah, soon. Let's pray for that, and Allah will help us as long as we pray to Him and we are doing our best. So we have here two directions as people, as Muslims. We have to pray and we have to do actions. It's not just something like ibadah is important, but we need our own efforts. So here in Malaysia we have a campaign, inshallah, will be the 17th of April. We as Bikom and Aqsa Sharif, Viva Palestine, we're going to organize that campaign, so we may cooperate together, all of us, at least, for example, social media and some activities, in some fund. All of this means you are good in that, you can do your best, you can do it in your own. So, but we need some efforts as Muslims towards our cause, our Palestinian cause as Muslim, all of us. By the way, I don't want to forget one important thing. We said and we talked about Palestine the whole talk. But I want to stress that as Palestinians, we are not forgetting other Ummah issues. So once we are talking about other Ummah issues, we feel the pain, we share the pain with our people in Syria, with our people in Egypt, and with each and every Muslim, even in Myanmar, in all of Muslim countries. They are all in our hearts. And we are hope that they will get and their life will be inshallah easy, and they will inshallah get their countries back, and they can inshallah got their rights back, as like in Syria they are trying to get their freedom, and they will get back inshallah. All of them, we are praying Allah to help them inshallah. Thank you all.